is Jesse fucking Glanz. This is my best friend in the fucking world right here, Andrew Smith. When you fucking quit drinking and then you slowly allow yourself to come back into it, the story never ends.
I don't want to like mess up and fuck shit up long term because I think I'm this different person.
We are the dumbest guys in the room. Oh my God, they are really serious about partying. Before we get going, let's get the.
And I will always love you.
We nailed it before. We're not recording yet. It's all good. Come on, baby.
All right, again.
We got it. This is the warm up.
But it was beautiful though. Okay.
It was good. We're actually not bad at it.
All right.
All right. Serious. That one shit.
And
It's so much preamble. It's so much preamble before let's. Okay, I'm done.
I got it. We got it. Look, I got it.
All right. I'm just close my. You can see me like getting ready. He's like, all right, this is so dumb. Vocal warm up.
Oh my God,
God, that's gonna. God, this poor fucking guy. He's got a. What do you say? Your kid's graduating from prison?
Whoa, wow. Racist much? Randy's a black guy. I thought we should change Randy's race.
Why did you? Yeah, we should change it every time.
Every podcast, Randy's gonna be a different race.
Oh God, he's like, my son's graduating from prison. Is that not what he said?
All right. I'm ready now.
Yep. Bodyguard.
And I will always love you. Will always.
What part are we starting at? Never mind. It's good enough. It's good enough. Fuck it. We'll do it live. My name is Jesse fucking Glanz. This is my best friend in the fucking world right here, Andrew Smith. And together, we are the dumbest guys in the room. We are trying to do a fucking vocal warm-up. Believe it or not, we nailed it about twice.
Yeah, but Randy wasn't fucking recording.
Randy!
Shit.
Hey. I just love yelling your name, buddy.
Randy's an Indian guy, by the way.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Canceled immediately. 5 seconds.
You just call him a that? Damn, bro. What's going on? It's crazy.
Did I just call him a that? That's not what I meant. I don't know what anything is anymore. I don't know what's what.
Oh, man. How's it going, Jesse?
Total fucking dog shit, man. We're in hell. But that's okay.
God damn.
Today's gonna be a real one, dude. We're gonna get some weird shit out there today. But yeah, these past few days for me have been pretty fucking dark. But I don't know if we want to jump right into that. You got anything you want to jump right into?
I am a little hungry, actually. So.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? What you got in the bag there? Oh, I already know it's in that fucking bag. Jesus Christ. Is that a whole fucking... You got in it? He's not even going to lay out a plate. He's going to eat it right out of the bag. That's really funny, though, that you... mention that because I stopped somewhere on the way in. Oh shit!
I have been waiting to start this episode so bad because I was really hungry, and I'm also intermittently fasting, so I haven't eaten anything all day.
Oh my God! Remember when we did the ASMR thing before? Oh, look at this floppy ass. Can you imagine how sick it would be if your dick
just never got harder than that?
Was like Never get harder than that. What?
Can't even
I'm
stick it
saying,
in.
hold on. You see that? Imagine if that's what your dick was like, soft. All right, let's get into the ASMR section early. Are you sucking on it?
Gotta get in there, Jesse.
Are you sucking as you bite? I feel like, do you choke often? What's your?
That's the juices, man.
What's your?
Wait, listen.
What's your technique with mozzarella sticks?
Fuck you, Jesse. wait, listen.
That was the sound of my dick hitting the table.
Oh, wait till the headphones off, right?
Randy, you can't get the audio right without the headphones
The
on.
headphones back on, man.
Randy! Would you like some floppy dick watermelon?
But you wouldn't be mad if, like, when you got hard, like that was the hardest you could get. You can't put it in like that.
No, you can't put it in. That's my thing.
It would be tragic.
I see. Hey, wait, hang on. That's better.
When you get, see, the smaller it is, the harder we get. Mm-hmm. See?
Yep. It's like an accurate representation.
That's
no, it's not. I'm kidding.
That's just.
I'm like easily half that size. I did bring you something today.
What's that, Jesse?
Because a white lady gave me this.
Have you been talking to white people about me, Jesse?
Yes. You know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I was thinking about dancing around it, but no, I'm just going to say it. But anyway, I was talking to a white lady about this, and she gave me this. And what this is a magazine that has no name because I don't know if we're going to get in trouble or what. But there's something in here, since all you're eating is fucking watermelon because you're a goddamn fucking psychopath, is we have 30 days of watermelon.
That's amazing.
What the fuck? How many different... that is a watermelon. What is that? A watermelon filled with ice? Who gives a shit? This has got to be the whitest and stupidest fucking thing.
But it's watermelon. It has to be good for you. What kind of recipes are there?
Let's see what we got here. Okay, well, immediately right off the bat, this is bullshit. Okay, a BLT, but it's a bacon, lettuce, and watermelon sandwich.
That sounds ridiculous. You're right.
Bacon, lettuce, and watermelon. That sounds stupid.
That's definitely the whitest I've ever heard about.
Like, all of this is just somebody is like, they're reaching so hard to like be creative. Okay, you got spiced watermelon fries.
Are they hard or like, are they flaky like your shit?
They must be hard, dude.
Are they crunchy watermelon fries?
Grilled shrimp watermelon kebabs? That's about the closest I'd go. But they got watermelon with herb salt. Okay.
I'll say put salt on their watermelon, yeah.
Why am I looking at this? Here. Take that and give me your perspective. I'm going to keep slamming watermelon.
I do like the watermelon with herb salt. Look at that, guys. That's pretty fire. That's pretty good. It's like a little pizza.
I think we got a couple minutes till we record, right, Randy?
Nice. Shit, we're fucking recording this whole time. We've been recording this whole damn time.
Well, but everyone's going to see me eat watermelon.
Let's see from the last episode. I'm sorry, Jesse. You're not getting blacker. Not at all. You're still pretty white.
If anything, I think I'm getting whiter.
But enough about me. Oh, we just had a film festival.
Yeah?
Charlotte 48-hour film festival. Shout out to Will Fisher. My team, we got a couple awards for our film. Pretty fire. Good
Fuck yeah, man.
I got best sound design because obviously I'm the best with sound. We know this. Oh, Jesse, we never told these people who the fuck we are.
Didn't we?
Outside of
Did
our
I not
names.
scream it right at it?
We don't know anything about us, man.
They don't know anything about us.
They don't know nothing about us.
What are we? Tell them.
Filmmaker, father. Yeah, that's about it. Filmmaker and father. And dope.
Douchebag. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
All right, fuck yeah. Together, though, we're the dumbest fucking guys.
The dumbest fucking guys in the room, and you all love it, and we love you. And if you don't love it, we love you anyway because we want to talk about why you don't love it.
Yep. To be honest with you, man, like these past few days have been total fucking hell for me.
Fuck.
And I'm realizing, shit, dude. When you have to, it's really rare that you have to take like these really deep dives into yourself, and you have to look back on behavior that you've had for like fucking as long as I can remember, dude. And you wonder about the. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
Can't clear my throat.
But like, and it's like we were kind of mentioning before. I'm still in the middle of a lot of things, and I don't want to say too much for certain shit. But it's these past few months have been, without a doubt, like the hardest in my life. I've lost a lot of friends. I've had to close a lot of caskets, go to a lot of those graves, and touch a lot of those little boxes with my friends' ashes in them. Suicides, ODs, car accidents. I mean, you fucking name it, man. And but there's something especially profound about grieving the loss of somebody who's still alive. And just trying to, oh, dude, it's such a unique type of pain, dude. I feel like it lasts longer. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm fucking crazy right now because I'm like in the middle of it, but
no, that's what happened with my mom. Like, man, pretty much knowing just back in 2017, and for a good month or so, she was pretty much gone, but not gone until they finally pulled the plug or whatever. So definitely been there, bro. This shit is not fun.
Yeah.
It is intense as fuck the entire time.
It's like, not only is she gone, but I think you and me might have mentioned this together, but not only is she gone, but I lost her family too. And I love them. They're my family, and I brought them into my heart and made a special place for them. And when you lose one, you lose all of them. And it's very different because like I've lost a lot of friends. I've had a lot of friends die, but I've never had to like grieve somebody who's like still there, and the loss of them and all the value that they gave made me feel. I'm starting to recognize that they didn't give me value, and I'm trying to realize that, but they didn't give me value. I put that value onto them and then placed it inside of me. And now that that's not there anymore, I'm having to try to find my own value again.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm having to face right now is I've never felt that, man. Why is so much of this podcast me crying already? But anyway, like, I don't think I ever felt that. Ever since I was a kid, ever since, because when you're like little, you don't have those things going on in your brain yet. And then it's like, as soon as I hit puberty, it was like a switch was flipped.
Yeah.
And just, it's been so dark ever since. And I always put value in myself based on like the people I'm around. And when those people are gone, that value is gone. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to find it again, you know? And dude, things have just been so dark. My grandmother was just in the hospital. She finally got out yesterday, thank fucking God, but we don't know, there's still a lot going on with that, but dude, shit. It's hard to even tell where to start with this whole thing.
I would say, I guess we can go into the story that led us here. What brought us to getting these tattoos, and then what brought us to doing this podcast. Because I think we can all relate, especially when it comes to grieving someone who you can see in this life, and they're right there, but you don't have access to them anymore. But you want it so bad. It's one of those stories that's so damn relatable across all ages, across just all spectrums of life, and it's hard to pull yourself out of that shit, even if you have a circle of friends around you trying to help. So I think if we just start at the beginning,
man, I'm gonna tell you, with what you just said right there, and we'll go into this more later, but it's like, dude, if there's one good thing that I'm realizing from all of this, it's that there are so many good people in the world. There are so many. If you find them, they're there. And it's kind of like what we were kind of talking about last time. It's like we have it geared in us right now it's like put in us to view everyone else as the enemy. Everyone's a stranger. You got to be, nervous of strangers. Be wary of them. And I don't know. I'm starting to realize that's just really not the case, and that's put into us. In that, you'll never convince me that majority of people in this world aren't good people, and if they saw somebody that really needed help in that moment, they would go help. I think most people would do that. And it's been kind of shown to me recently because, dude, I've slipped so hard these past few months and gone into these really dark places, and I was able to be sober for a while, but some shit was said to me and I just completely fucking gave up. And it was even before we did that last podcast, I'd given up, but these past few days got even worse with my grandmother being sick and watching her lay in her own shit and be uncomfortable and have this person texting me, attacking me the whole time, knowing goddamn fucking well where I was and what I was going through and still wanting to sling arrows and hurt me. And it was like, and now, that sadness, if I'm being honest with you, that sadness is starting to turn into something else because I'm starting to realize it's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to keep making me out to be this horrible fucking person? And it's like, and you know what? I fucking let it happen, man. I let it happen because I put so much into what they were telling me that I started to fucking believe. I believed it for years. And that I'm trying to emerge from that, but it's like this whole like I'm such a bad fucking person, but I'm like, I would never put you through what you're putting me through right now. And knowing that I'm sitting with my grandmother in the hospital, who, by the way, carried you as well for fucking 12 years and gave you everything, everything that she could. And you're not even going to fucking ask how she's doing. And that I'm sitting there looking at her in a hospital room and you just keep attacking me with your fucking petty little... It's like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why am I even letting you do this to me?
Right.
And the other night, man, it just fucking slipped so hard, But if we were gonna start from the top of like where all of this is, I think a lot of it has to do with, I don't know about you, man, but I think a lot of it has to do with unresolved like childhood trauma that just kind of carries, or it kind of sticks with you forever.
Yeah, that's usually where it starts for a lot of people. Yeah,
I think a lot of this alcoholism, which I know is going to be probably a theme between us, and on this show, I think that's where a lot of it starts for us, is because you find light in that,
mm-hmm.
and you find happiness in that, and everything goes away for a little while. And then you just lean on that forever, and that becomes your crutch. And I mean, so I think some bad shit happened when I was a kid, and it was not necessarily intentional, and that mixed with the brain chemistry led me to, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, it wasn't just alcohol. It was fucking ecstasy, cocaine. It was, I did everything that didn't have to be shot directly into my arm. Snorting heroin. I mean, did that like anything to escape. And I mean, like, you put yourself in those circles too, and you all lift each other up, but you're all fucking addicts at the same time. And you're all enabling each other at the same time. And I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten out of it. I think I know for a fact I'm still here. I'm still sitting in it.
Yeah. And when it comes to like childhood trauma, like for me, a lot of like I'll be in therapy sessions talking about it too. There's a lot about my childhood I just don't remember. Like it's like a blank slate. As far as I'm concerned, I had a pretty decent. There's not any trauma that I can trace back to my childhood, but a lot of the things that I'm currently doing, even my therapist mentions it seems like there's something there that happened, or maybe something I saw or whatever, that maybe my brain is just blocking, but the manifestation of it is still showing. It could be, it's showing through like alcoholism or all the things I've, pretty much tried. And actually, I tried to do, I still kind of like psychedelics a little bit, but I got into that trying to kind of get away from alcohol. But that just kind of led to me doing that and alcohol at the same time. But I'm not gonna lie, man, tripping is fun as shit.
Oh yeah, I think everybody should trip mushrooms. Everybody should trip mushrooms hard as fuck at least once in their life, man.
I did hard as fuck, but it was like it was in the wrong environment. I think I was telling you about this before. It was a bad trip. My first time doing shrooms, but doing too much. Or not knowing that different strands of shrooms have different potencies or whatever. So I did the same amount that I usually do, but with a different strand and with somebody who I've never done it with before. And shit, man, I was out of my mind. I was scared as fuck.
Were those the ones you got from me?
No, there was hers, I think. Yeah, it was hers. But
Randy, cut that. I don't want them to know. Randy, get off your phone! I'm kidding. You can be on your phone. This is depressing. You should probably be on your phone. In fact, Randy, just stay on your phone. I'll just scream at you when we need you. Huh?
I haven't missed the cut.
Nice. Hell yeah, baby.
Bro,
God, he's the man.
I was sitting in the bathroom for like an hour and a half.
I've been there, dude.
Wait, the bathroom was transforming the whole time. I was like, I'm talking to myself the entire, like, I honestly, I'm saying hour and a half. I have no idea. It could have been like 30 minutes. It could have been longer than that shit. I just know at some point I hear this screaming from her because he's trying to get in. It's like, one bathroom and that shit. So she's trying to get in there. And then, like, she's just yelling and shit. So now she just sounds demonic as fuck. And then the whole bathroom I don't even know what bathroom I'm in anymore. So I just walk out that bitch and I lay on the first thing I fucking see. And she's like in a condo. So it's like one bed or whatever and shit. I was supposed to be on the couch. Nick, I'm fucking losing my fucking mind right now. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. She gets out of the bathroom, starts yelling at me again to get off the damn bed and shit. So now I'm like, I go to the couch.
She was yelling at you?
Bro, yelling, just mad, pissed off.
And you're both tripping?
So apparently she wasn't tripping as hard, but I was out of my mind. But yeah, we were both doing shrooms.
Oh God!
Right, she was yelling.
No one should be yelling on shrooms.
But the fucked up part about it was not fucked up. But what for me was hilarious is the whole time I'm tripping, I thought she was tripping too, as hard as I was. So I'm like, oh shit, we're both gonna die. We're both trapped in this fucking loop. Oh shit! And I'm like, she's like morphing when I go to the other side of the room. She's like just transporting to different sides of the room. She ends up in front of me, yelling at me and shit. And I'm just like, hold me, hold me.
I need you.
I love you.
I love you. Please.
I'm in the fetal position, like, Andrew, it's okay. You're just tripping. It's the shrooms. You'll be good. Blah, 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 blah. Just like going off the whole time. Everything. Like, I literally felt I was trapped in hell, bro. It was like, it was fucking crazy. And then the cops came. She called the cops, bro.
She called the cops?
Bro. And at first I thought they came because like a neighbor, because like there was yelling going on. I was like, maybe a neighbor called them and shit. But the cops came, but luckily they came once the trip started to fade out. Because if they came like 10 minutes earlier,
you would have been fucking...
I think it would have been a wrap. I probably would have tried to move, run, fight, some shit.
Yeah.
I probably would have got shot.
Freak out. You probably would have ran. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have got shot. And
I'd run. If I was tripping my balls off and the fucking cops got there, I'd be like, no.
But I was still like in that. I was still tripping, but it wasn't as bad when they got there. So I'm just like very confused. Hit up, I had to call the wife or whatever, or so, like I'm like, I need to call her, I need to talk to her, like, cause I'm like, I'm going to jail now and all this other shit. But she had called them, I guess she thought like I was never going to leave or some shit. But like she wanted me to leave the house during the middle of the trip, and I'm just sitting there like, I was just,
whoever this person is, fuck you.
I can't move right now. Like I could only imagine if I did gather some sense to leave, what the fuck would have happened?
I mean, seriously though, it's like I get like that is some bullshit, dude, to like try to, when someone's like clearly tripping, first of all, yell at them. You don't do that. That's not what you do to people.
I think it made it worse. It just got so intense and scary for me. I've never felt that kind of fear in my life, which I kind of liked, I guess. When I started to think about it, I felt things I had never felt before. And I think that's the idea of what I like about the whole tripping experience. It takes you out of the world, but also like more internally with shrooms anyway. You get just more internalized. You know, I'm over here thinking about my kids and my wife and all that good stuff the entire time. It's like put things in perspective. It made me realize I fear dying now. I used to never fear that shit. I used to be like, well, if I die, I die. But now I can see through that experience, like I really fear dying, or I fear not being able to go back home to my family type shit. Right. So it brought that out, but like, yeah, it was just the wrong environment to have a bad trip. Yeah. If you're gonna, I need to be around people like you or somebody who would be like, "Yo, it's okay," or just laughing with me or laughing at me. Dude, like
that's what me and my friends used to do. Like, so we took a lot of ecstasy and a lot of mushrooms at the same time, which is, by the way, the greatest combination ever. I shit you not. Like, especially when you're in your early 20s. I don't know about now. Right now, I'd probably freak the fuck out because I think I'm having a heart attack. But what we used to do in fucking Greenville all the fucking time is we had friends that sold ecstasy, and they used to keep it at our house. And there would just be giant fucking bags of it. And we would, I mean, they look like fucking Skittles. It was one of the coolest things in the world, like just giant bags of colored pills. And the rule was we don't touch it. We let them do whatever they're going to do with it. But they give it to us for free all the fucking time. And so me and my friends and the neighbors, I mean, this whole apartment, like all we did for like, God, this was like 2008, maybe 2009. We just took ecstasy all the time. We would take it in the morning. We would take it at night. And we got so good at taking ecstasy, no one fucking knew we were on it. Like dude, I remember that there was a small part in my head that was like, this probably isn't good that you can take ecstasy or take a roll at fucking like 9 in the morning and just continue about your day. You know, like that's probably not that great. But the greatest combination ever was ecstasy and mushrooms, because it brings it. So you get the rainbows from the ecstasy, you get the good feelings from the ecstasy, like you're vibing with everybody, but then you also get the shrooms with it. So then you're like tripping and you're like channeled in, you know. And dude, I swear to God, I could have written poetry. You know, it's just so perfect. You're in bliss.
I think I did tell you, bro, I was tripping on mushrooms during the Rihanna Super Bowl performance, bro. And that was the greatest fucking Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life.
That would have been pretty dope. That was a good one.
Bro, I was in the TV just laughing, crying because it was so beautiful. I have never seen anything that beautiful.
Imagine tripping watching the Prince Super Bowl. When he's playing Purple Rain and then it starts raining. You're like, this is the rapture. This is the rapture in this moment. Prince is God. He's going to bring us all home, baby.
But I did, as far as like I haven't done, like I think I might have done shrooms like maybe once after that experience or whatever. But all that showed me was I'm still trying to find something to escape into or some kind of escape. We don't recommend doing this shit. Kids.
Do this shit. 12-year-olds, go to your mom's purse
Oh my God.
when she's taking a nap.
Don't do that.
I want you to root around in there for a little while,
Don't
okay?
ever do that.
You're going to have to see some shit you don't want to see, probably those giant fucking tampons she's got in there, and then you got to wonder about how big her... Never mind. Go into that purse, and I want you to fucking find a $20 bill, okay? And I want you to go buy some ecstasy with it.
Don't do it, kids. Don't do it.
Do they even make it? You can't do it anyway. I don't even know if they do ecstasy anymore. It's like Molly now. Is that even a thing? Doesn't matter. Go buy drugs. I want you to take that $20 bill and I want you to go buy drugs with it, okay? I want you to find, you know where to go. We all drive past those places. You're like, I'm pretty sure that's a rough spot. Whatever they got, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? It could be, let's see, weed. That's great. That's a basic one. You probably already smoke weed. You're a 12-year-old. You probably already smoke pot, so let's move on from that.
Oh, my God.
Buy some cocaine, okay? Buy some ecstasy. And I want you to do it, okay? And then whatever you can't do, bring it to me, and I'll do it for you. But seriously, dude. Randy, are we recording? Good. No, but for real, if I'm going to tell you what we were just talking about with your experience with those shrooms, I was just the worst person in the world to fucking do them with. Because, dude, I was just telling you, like, me and my buddies, like, we used to fucking babysit each other. Like, I like day tripping because I like being outside and all the colors and you can see all the shit. But my buddies like tripping at night. Yeah. So we would just go back and forth and, like, one of us would be a babysitter while the other one tripped their fucking balls off. And that one dude... that person would be, the sober one would be the one that's like kind of like the gauge for the room that you could bounce your energy off of. Like, because you could be like, all right, well, if they're cool, I'm cool. And everything that's like I'm feeling right now, it's probably not actually happening because, you know, they're sitting there and they're packing bowls for like rolling blunts or whatever so you can like chill out.
Yeah.
Bringing you water and just being nice to you, you know, and just making sure you're getting through it. Whoever the fuck that was you were dealing with, no, that person, you should have called the cops on her. And you know what? You should have told 911. They'd be like, sir, is this an emergency? Yeah, it is. I'm tripping with the worst person ever.
I'm not in the business of telling people how they should react to shit because, like, if she was tripping, she could have been thinking that I was going to be doing, like, I was doing some, like, random shit because I am, like, this random guy or whatever. But to your point, I should have just done it with somebody that I'm actually close with and who would understand that clearly that's not me. Like the shrooms have taken over. I think for her it was less. Like she even asked me when I was leaving, like, why would you do that? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. The shrooms did that shit. The shrooms took over. But
I'm on mushrooms. Why were you doing it? I am, like, when you take mushrooms, you're literally an insane person.
Yeah.
When you take any psychedelics, that's the point, is you're supposed to go out of your mind for a little bit.
And I was in clear psychosis during that trip. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be like, you know, what she should or she not done. Like people, they can feel however they want to feel in that moment. And she could have called like her friends to beat my ass. I'd rather you call the cops. Have them like escort me out and shit.
Or maybe she could have been, I don't know, just honest with you, straightforward with you, and been like, Andrew, you're freaking me out. You're freaking me out.
And we could have had the conversation.
Yeah, you could have been there together, you know, but nah, you don't fucking call the law.
Yeah, bro.
I gotta piss. I'm sorry. This has gotta happen. This has gotta happen.
This break is brought to you by Tilta. Celsius.
Ah. Oh, God, slammed in energy. You want it?
Why not?
Talk shit. I don't know, 20 minutes?
No, we only got 20 minutes left.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun with shrooms.
Have you ever done shrooms?
I was going to do it in Maryland when I went with my cousin.
Ever done
Gas
LSD?
station sells shrooms.
Ever done LSD? Ever done LSD?
I never done this.
I did that when I did the boom pole shoot. You know when I did the boom pole? I was tripping on that shit. And this guy was trying to talk to me about getting my, like, trying to do business or whatever. And I was like, stop fucking talking to me, please. I'm tripping right now. Bro, and I did it. LSD is like, it's fun. Mushrooms, they're cool, but they're like,
it's just too crazy.
bro.
Especially with my whole beef with religion and shit. I might sit there and ain't doing
Bro, when I tell you them shrooms had me thinking I was in hell, bro, like, because it felt like I was on a loop. Like, she just kept transporting and trying to be yelling, then back to her bed, and I was just kept saying, huh, like she was talking to me and shit, bro. I have never felt so out of body in my goddamn life. But LSD though, that shit is bright. You feel energetic, but the come down lasts for like 7 hours, and that shit's trash.
Is everything colorful?
Yeah, everything is colorful, bro, and like you're just happy as fuck. I was watching Black Mirror, the episode, the social media, not social media. It was the joint where they rank themselves or whatever, and that shit was beautiful, bro. LSD. Oh, I need to find that strain,
The most
Bruh.
psychedelic.
Actually, there's this episode. I don't know if you watch All American and shit, but I was on mushrooms watching that joint, and it was so sad. I was so sad at the end of the episode. It was so crazy, bro. I'm telling you, mushrooms bring out some shit, man. And
Yeah, I kind of want to do it alone because
I do. Yeah, I used to do it alone. She was the first time I did it just with somebody.
intrusive thoughts
Yeah.
are dangerous. And
No,
I feel
but
like
it-
shrooms is gonna take over.
I usually,
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're,
You just be thinking about random shit like, what if I just jump off this balcony and see if I can fly?
Bro.
Shit like that.
dude.
That's why I gotta be hide in a room, like locked down in a baby-proof room.
Last time I took shrooms, it wasn't even that long. I think it was January. I went really, really hard with it. And my wife was out of town, and I just bought like a fuck ton of them. Because if I'm going to buy drugs, I'm going to buy a lot. I'm going to buy a lot all at once. That's the only way this works. If you're an adult, kids, when you become an adult, I'm going to tell you something. The best way to buy drugs is to buy a lot of them all at once, okay? Write that down in your little fucking crayon.
don't do that. Don't do it.
But yeah, no, so I bought like a fuck ton of shrooms because, I mean, like it's the cheapest way to get them. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy like a pound of them, you know? And my wife went out of town. She brought the dog. And I just was like, fuck it. It was like Saturday morning. Perfect time to do shrooms, dude. I was smoking weed. I was watching SpongeBob. I had gotten a little bit of food on my belly. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat an eighth. Just an eighth. Nothing crazy. You know, you just grab you get them down. And I used to think mushrooms were gross, but now I just think they taste like the earth. You know, like they just taste like dirt.
Yeah,
You know, they're not that great. Because everyone's always like, oh, well, do you grind them? Do you mix them with things? I'm like,
I
the
do a tea.
Tea is great. But the idea is to take these things like on an empty stomach because you're going to get the full fucking effect. So I was like, all right, I'm in a pretty good place for these. And so I took an eighth. And then about however long, 45 minutes later, started tripping. And basically I'll just say that escalated into me doing nothing but eating mushrooms for 2 days straight. And I ate like well over an ounce.
What is wrong?
Because I just didn't stop. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm realizing all these problems I have. Because I started with that eighth. And I started feeling really good. I was listening to music. I'm bopping around the kitchen, the whole house. I was cleaning. I was listening to these great fucking songs. And I'm like, God, this is so great. You know what sounds great? More mushrooms. And dude, I did not stop for like 2 days. I was the only one in my house. And I just kept eating mushrooms.
Sounds like you were chasing that high, man.
It was
Chasing it.
great. Because eventually you get to a point where when you're on mushrooms and you're like tripping really hard that you function very well on them. And you realize like you can exist in that realm and still do everything that you need to do. Like I was talking to people on the phone. I was like, it got to a point where I think it was on Sunday. Like I started being able to like cook. And I'm just tripping my balls off. And I'm just like, dude, I can do it. I can live like this, man. I could live, I could make this every single day if I wanted to. And I'm having great conversations with people. And they're like, oh, yeah, man, because I'm like tuned in. That's what mushrooms do. They tune you in, you know? And I'm just like, I want to do this forever. But then I think what it was work came on Monday morning or something like that. And when you've done nothing but eat mushrooms for 2 days, and then all of a sudden you start coming down, you're like, oh, fuck.
I might as well do.
Reality hits. But I love mushrooms. I love mushrooms so much. Psychedelics in general, I guess. You ever smoked DMT?
Nah, I want to try it though. I heard that shit just knocks you out basically for like 15 minutes.
Dude, I'll tell you what. DMT takes you to like you're not here. Like I've had people be like, oh, so can I like are you able to walk? I'm like, dude, not on good DMT. Hell no. The first time I ever smoked DMT was like astounding shit. It was at a Grover Fest up in fucking somewhere near Mooresville up here. But it was really weird because I had like never heard of it before until that festival. And I was ready to eat ecstasy. I was ready to eat mushrooms, do blow, acid, all that shit, drink. I mean, you're at a jam band psychedelic festival. You know what you're getting into. One of my favorite parts of that festival is my dad went with me. And I remember him being like, I'll drink. He's like, I'll smoke, but I'm not taking anything. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I'm going to take shit. He's like, that's fine. You do you. That's fine.
That is white parents for you. For anyone out there, that is the most white parents I've ever heard.
The very first person that offered him acid, he took it without hesitation at all. We'd been there for like maybe 30 minutes.
This is some white people shit, man.
It's totally.
Hey, Randy, ain't no black in our household doing that shit, bro. My mom smacked me so hard, so fast. She come from the grave to be my ass.
Oh my God, dude. It was this fucking, we get in there, we each get a cup of beer. Like, cause we had gotten VIP passes somehow. I think we knew we knew somebody. And so we didn't have to pay for a goddamn thing. We got to go like drink out of the band kegs and shit. So we each got a beer. We're watching a band. And this lady walks up to us with an eyedropper and she just goes, hey, you want some LSD? And I was like, of course, and she just puts it under my tongue and she looks at my dad. She was like, do you want some? And I was like, oh, he's going to say no, but he was like, okay, like immediately. And I was like, I thought you weren't going to do drugs. He was like, changed my mind. But dude, anyway, so that same night, dude, this was I couldn't do this anymore. Because you're just walking around eating drugs. Whoever gives you shit, you put it in you. There's a joke there somewhere.
I'm about to say you don't have to, but also yes. There's definitely a joke.
So there's at one point, I think this guy, he was supposed to get me mushrooms. And I was waiting for him. And eventually he comes back and he was like, I'm sorry, dude, I couldn't find those. And I'm like, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. I think they were free anyway. So I was like, don't worry about it. That's cool, man. He goes, but I did get you this. And he holds out a bowl. And there was like this kind of chunky white hint of yellow, if I remember right, like shit on top of a bowl. And he had a chair for me. And I think that we were watching a band called Yesterday's Gravy, which is a great band name. But anyway, we're watching this band, and he sits me down, and he goes, I want you to sit right here. Don't get up. And I want you to smoke this whole thing. And I was like, okay, all right. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, it's DMT. And I was like, okay, because I had seen one other guy earlier, never smoked DMT before, and he flipped the fuck out. And it kind of freaked me out because they were just offering it to people. And so I saw this dude, and he ripped it. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh God. And he laid down on the ground and started writhing and and I'm like,
oh no.
What the fuck? And so I was kind of nervous, but this guy, he just hands me a fucking bowl of DMT. And I'm like, are you okay over there, Randy? Am I boring you, Randy? I'm kidding. I love you. You're the best. God, you're good at this. He's so handsome too. You see that smile?
Oh my God.
You see that smile? Sorry, I took some ecstasy before I came in here. You handsome devils. But so the guy he hands me this bowl and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to fucking smoke it. Dude, he goes, I need you to take a real big rip right on the first one. Really hit it. And I was like, okay. And I fucking torched that fucking thing. And it tastes like fucking chemicals. Like it's nuts. He was like, I want you to hold it in as long as you can. And I was like, okay. So fucking ripped it. And I just sat there for a second and I exhaled it. And it was like I was in a fucking mix of like a plastic silverware factory with like rubber. It tasted like shit, God. And as soon as that shit came out, all of a sudden like a kaleidoscope. It started forming in my vision. Like I'll never forget one light, next light. And I'm like, oh, God, thank God I was sitting down, dude. And I knew it was coming because I watched that other guy freaking out. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. But then that kaleidoscope, it was white and then it became colored. And then like all of a sudden I felt myself, like the weirdest thing, felt myself like lift. I was gone. And they say that you talk to somebody else. Like they say you talk to God or whatever. Well. Bro, that totally happened. I didn't think that was real, but it totally fucking happened. It blew my fucking. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, like, I see like these weird things that kind of looked like trees, like they were rooted to the earth, but they were maneuvering kind of like this and dancing around. And I remember in that moment kind of being like, okay, they got to be people around me who are dancing to the music or something. But I mean, they looked like they were like these psychedelic trees, and I don't know. But there was this fucking man, this golden man, like just hovering, dude. It was the creepiest. It wasn't creepy. It wasn't creepy. Looking back on it, it was creepy. Yeah. At the time, the cool thing about DMT is like you feel very at home. Like I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anything. I just felt like I felt bliss. Actually, I felt really good. I wasn't scared. And this thing, you could kind of see arms, you could kind of see legs, you could see this form of something. And it was just hovering there, and I could tell it was looking at me. And I got this feeling of being at home, and it didn't speak, but it gave me like this. I remember it said something to me, but it wasn't like verbally. It was very much like in our head. And it said to me, it was like, don't be afraid of where you are. You're supposed to be here. You can come back here anytime you want. You're meant to be here. And I just remember like feeling this bliss and this love and just enjoying it and just being there with all these things. They look like alien trees dancing around in this thing hovering there. One hit. That's all it was. And then all of a sudden, like, the cool thing about DMT is it doesn't last long. Yeah. So all of a sudden I start like coming back down, and I start remembering where I was, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And so I look down at the fucking bowl, and there's only one corner gone. Like, I only torched the corner. And I'm like, oh. So I ripped it again hard as fuck. The whole thing happened again. But that white golden light man thing, he didn't talk to me after that. But I could feel like he was there to just let me know. He was like, you're home. You're good. You're in a good spot. You're supposed to be here. And dude, ever since then, I've always wondered, I'm like, what was that? Was that like, is that just the product of the drugs? Or like, did I actually go somewhere? Right. You know, because everybody describes that. Everyone describes talking to like God or seeing aliens or being around these people. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe in that, but I definitely saw that too. It was a fucking trip, bro. Kids, $20 out of your mom's purse. DMT is very cheap.
Don't do it. Don't do it, kids.
Drugs are fun.
No, don't do drugs.
Drugs make you cool. Look at Randy. Randy literally just went.
I'm not about to wear my Dare shirt.
Hell yeah. Dare to do more drugs.
All right. Shoot, let's double back. Real quick. We don't have much because
I have nothing left to live for. I don't give a shit. I hope every child in America does cocaine tomorrow.
No, sir.
Except for yours.
Oh my God. Did you want to go into any specifics about what you've kind of
the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not, man? Because it's still fresh. I feel really low energy because of it was bad. It was really bad. Kind of hit rock bottom pretty hard. I know you and me have been doing better about sobriety and stuff like that, but I slipped real hard the other night. I guess it's this weird, where it started is kind of weird because it started with something really great, and I think that when you have something really good happen, the back half of it can be treacherous because the bottom falls out. And I was sober for like this good shit. So my band got to open for King Parrot and Weed Eater. And those are some of my favorite bands. And I've known all those guys for a long time. And it just, I've seen them and we've hung out. But I've never got to open for them. I never got to be like on the same bill as them. I never got to see my band's name listed with theirs. And it was like a packed out house. It was great, dude. And it was such a great time. And I didn't drink, smoked a lot of weed, but I didn't drink. And And this person was there. She also came, which I'm very confused as to why, because I think she knew it was going to tear me down to have her there. Whatever. And got through that. That was totally fine. Had a great night. My sister was there. I had friends from high school. I had such a group of support lifting me up because they knew what I was going through. And they knew how much this show meant to me. So they all came, like an army of people came for me. And I felt, and I still, it felt so good, man. I felt so loved. And in that, that time, like it was like the clouds kind of parted and, everything was cool again. And I felt like I belong, and I had people that cared about me. Everyone was hugging. Like it was a very loving thing. And I felt great. And the next day after that, I got a text from that person who, looking back on it, I'm sure that it was intended to hurt me because they saw me having such a good time, ignoring them. I mean, I had a great time, dude. When King Parrot was playing, I was up front the whole time. The lead singer got off stage and danced with me. We did like a ballroom dance thing. I'll send you the video. It's fucking good. Great pictures from that night. I mean, me and my sister know the words, and I mean, they're putting the mic out, I mean, and I know she saw that. And I think what happened was she saw me having such a good time that it pissed her off. And the next day, she starts sending me these fucking texts. And it started to fucking spiral. She, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say what the fucking texts are, but they were cryptic and they were baiting. And I knew they were. You know how when somebody texts you very short little things and they're not elaborate, very cryptic.
Yeah.
And they want you to like...
Yeah.
And it totally worked, dude. And I had all my support, all these people who I wear this on my sleeves, man. I'm very open about this kind of thing because I'm not strong enough to deal with this by myself. So I need other people to be there and like, give me advice and tell me their perspective on it because I don't trust mine. I don't trust me. I don't trust what happens in here. I need to show other people these things. So I showed other people these texts that were being sent to me, and they were telling me what they think it meant, how I should respond. And, I'm kind of taking all these notes, and it took me a while to, like, get back with her. And my grandmother was also in the hospital. And I mean, at this time, it was really, really, really stressful because the communication between doctors was fucking garbage. Yeah. She was in there for like 5 days with 0 answers, just shitting on herself, feeling like shit. And I mean, seeing that, I mean, it sucks and it really fucking tears you down. It's just this really fucking dark place. And I was weak, and I texted this person. I was like, please pray for my grandmother. She loves you very much, and she's very sick right now. She's in the hospital. And she completely fucking ignored it. Didn't say a fucking word. And I'll never forget this, man. I'm looking at my grandmother, who's waiting for a fucking nurse to come in because she's been laying in her own shit for 20 minutes. And I'm like getting fucking pissed because I'm like, I can fucking hear you people out there talking. Someone come in here and clean up my grandmother and give me the shit to do it.
Yeah.
Like, because she's laying in her own mess right now and she's very fucking uncomfortable. So quit with your fucking, like, someone get in here. And she fucking texts me. And I told her this. I told her where I was and what I was doing. And she fucking texts me and she's like, she's just attacking me, man. She's like, this is it. It's done. I need you to understand. It's over. This is the divorce date. And I'm And I'm looking at my grandmother and I see just, I don't know what it was. It was just this like, I could see she was uncomfortable and I just like gave up. I just completely gave up in that moment. I was like, nothing. I'm in a nightmare. I'm never going to wake up. And I need to get the fuck out of here. I can't do this anymore. And luckily, for the past few hours before that, it was just me and my grandmother, and we had like a really good talk, and we vented about a lot of things. And I started getting these texts, and it was like this really weird timing because my mom and her the rest of her husband came in, and I wanted to hang out longer, but I like, she got her hooks in me really hard, and I could feel her pulling me down, and I'm just like, I can't fucking do this. So I told my mom. She was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm really not. I was like, I need to go. And she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, she just fucking texted me and it's working. She's fucking with me and it's working. And I left the hospital trying not to fucking cry like a little bitch the whole way out. It's like a fucking labyrinth getting out of there, you know? And I get in my car, and I knew that when I got back to the house that I was going to be I knew I was going to be the only one there. And dude, I've been dealing with suicidal ideation my whole life. There's not a single, ever since I hit puberty, there's not a single fucking day I don't think about it. It's just what days, it's just a intrusive thought, and what days are making plans. And man, I was fucking certain. I was like, this is it. I was like, I can't do this. I can't keep going. Like, looking at my grandmother there and just been not sleeping, not eating. Like, I don't think I've slept more than like 4 hours a night for months, because as soon as I wake up, everything comes back and I just can't go back to sleep. So I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating. And I'm on my way back to the house, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is fucking it, man. It's just got to be over. And you know what the shittiest part is I'm like in my head, and I'm like, everyone will be okay eventually. Like, I can't do this anymore. And I felt so bad about that, but I was like, it was this weird, almost like comfort that I was like, everyone will be okay. And I sat in the driveway for like 20 minutes because I think part of me was fucking terrified about what was going to happen when I walked in that house. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get absolutely hammered because I'm going to be dead in a couple hours, so I don't give a shit. And I knew I wasn't going to eat. I was like, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to get violently drunk and I'm going to listen to music. And that's exactly what I did. And I started texting people that I cared about. You know, not telling them anything because I'm afraid people are going to call 911 or something. So I'm just letting people know how much they mean to me and everything they've done, how grateful I am. I wrote a note from my sister. I'm just sitting there fucking getting hammered, listening to Pink Floyd. And because I knew, I was like, this is it, man. This is fucking done. I can't take anymore. And I texted my mom and I was like, please let me know when you're coming home. Because I didn't want them to walk in and see me like that. I just needed to get the timing. I needed to get the timeline right. And they didn't fucking text me. So all of a sudden they walk in the door as I'm like drunk as shit in the kitchen listening to one of the most depressing Pink Floyd songs. And, they asked if I was okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to avoid them and shit. Yeah. And my mom went upstairs with her husband, and I yelled up to her. I was like, Mom. And she looked down and she was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not okay. Because I knew I had to have that. Me and her have had a lot of turmoil in my life, and I knew that I needed to clear the air with her before I was going to do this. So me and her sat outside for a while, and we just held hands. And I told her that I was sorry for everything that we had been through. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry for the judgment that I placed on her, because when she had me, she was really young. And I think she was just doing her best the whole time. And we sat out there for a little while. And when she went inside, I told her, I was like, I want you to please remember everything we talked about tonight. Because I knew it was getting to be time. And she went upstairs, she went to bed. And I went as long as I could writing the note to my sister. Kept drinking. And I mean, like, dude, I was like hallucinating. Like, it was bad. Because I hadn't eaten for, I didn't eat that day. I don't remember if I ate the day before, and I was doing blow. And I was just drinking. I was texting a friend. Thank God for that friend, by the way, because if I wasn't talking to them the whole time, this would have been way worse. But I was hallucinating. I thought I was seeing people, because I kept, like, seeing things, like people walking behind me and then people there. And I'm texting her the whole time, and I'm like, I'm seeing shit. I started to hear shit. Like, it was the weirdest. I started to hear, like, birds chirping and shit. Jeez. And in my brain at the time, I was like, all right, you're here. It's time. That's what this is. And, if this ever gets released, if my parents are listening to this, or Kelsey or anything, you guys should probably skip this part, because it gets bad. And I knew, I was like, this is it. Like, I was starting to get sleepy. I was drunk. I was hallucinating. And I'm like, it's time. And fuck. So I went upstairs. And I went into the room that I'm staying in. And in the closet, there's an AR-15. And I got plenty of fucking ammo for it. It was fucking done, man. I went in there. And I put the magazine into it, and it occurred to me that I can't do that in there, because it's going to ruin the room. Like, it's going to be everywhere, and I can't do that to them. So I pulled, because I'm a fucking genius, I pulled 2 pillowcases off the bed, and I put one inside the other, and I went into the closet. I locked the door. I left the note to my sister. And I sat there on the floor. And it started getting like kind of, you're in a closet, and it started getting like kind of stuffy. And I was like, all right, man. And I put these fucking bags on my head. And the first thing that hit me was how hot it was in those bags, and how hard to breathe it was. And so I chambered a fucking round. And I put that shit in my mouth, and I felt it scratch the roof of my mouth, and I felt like such a fucking kid again, because I was like, ow. And I remember in that moment being like, ow, you were about to shoot yourself in the fucking head. Who cares? Oh God, it was so fucking profound, man. It was such a weird, dark, and I just kept thinking, I kept being like, please, something save me. I was like, if there's anything out there, I need it right now. And I fucking clicked that fucking safety off, and I remember sitting there for a second and just being like, all right, man, this is it. And it was so fucking weird, dude. It was like all of a sudden this loud, I don't know what it was, feeling, or people call it, I don't know. I have no idea. God, if it was my dead friends, I don't know what it was, but there was something like right there in that moment before I put that finger down. Everything inside of me was like, no. And it was like this moment of fear and like panic. And it was just so loud. It was like a bang all at once, man. And I fucking just threw it down and I got terrified. And I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And I like took the bags off my head and I fucking ran out of the room. And I was just like, oh my God, dude. And thank God I had that person on my phone, because I was like, if I tell you to call 911, I need you to send them here, because I knew it was going to be loud.
Yeah.
And I knew the doors were, and I knew my mom was going to panic, because I knew she knew exactly what was happening if she had heard that, because she was asleep in the next room. But there was something so loud in that moment, and I don't know what it was, but it fucking threw me out of that fucking closet.
It sounds like it saved you from that fucking closet.
I think. But I don't know what the fuck that was, dude, but I've never, you know, like I said, I've dealt with this shit my whole fucking life. I've never come that close before. And man, there was a really good chance I wasn't going to be sitting here in front of you, man. And I still don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do about that.
I mean, of course, there's not much that anyone outside of yourself can say as far as how to interpret that. But the way I hear, and I think I told you this yesterday or today, what matters is whatever happened in that closet, you're still here. You survived you survived what was going on. And not only did you survive, something higher than yourself, it seems like, pulled you out of that moment, that space. And I might not be religious or anything like that, but I do believe in connecting to a higher power. And I think that's, I don't know. I mean, of course, it's going to be something that you're going to put a name or a face to, or you'll figure out. But that's definitely, to me, that's a higher power. You ask for somebody to save you, and I think I think something did. And I also think, you know, you might call it weakness, but I see everything you've just experienced as an indicator of strength, because you're still here. And you have that. You have way more power than you're giving yourself credit for. And I'm happy you're still here, Jesse. I know.
I love you, dog.
Love you too, man. And I know your family, your sister, friends, they're happy you're still here.
Part of the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I'm hoping, like, I don't know what's going to happen with what we're using, or what we're going to use, what we're not going to use, but I'm hoping that this is like the start of something, and I can look back on this one day and I can see where I am right now, and how I really do think this is rock bottom for me. I've been to some dark places, but I've never been to one like this before. And I'm hoping that someday I can look back at this when I haven't told anybody that until right now. And I was just like, I need to say this, because I hope someday I can look back on right now, on this moment, on what I just said to you, and think of that as the start of something. Hopefully a lot better, and not what it was a couple nights ago where I knew it was the end. It's like I'm hoping this is just the beginning, and that I hope someday, I hope someday I can look back at this right here and be like, I've built so much since. Because right now it feels like everything's falling apart. And it's hard to think that it's ever going to get better. But I need to do this as like accountability or whatever. Just hopefully I can look back and be like, all right, man, this is where you were. You're not here anymore. Not there anymore.
And just so we can wrap this session up, what is the last thing you want to say to anybody else who's experiencing their rock bottom right now, since you're in it, in the middle of it? What do you want to tell them to help pull? Well, yeah. What do you want to tell them?
Think that if I could tell anybody else that feels this right now, it's I'm with you. We're here together. I know what it's like. It hurts. It hurts so fucking bad. There's nothing like it. But I'm with you. We're here together. And that I'm not going to fucking tell you. I'm not going to fucking tell you that to think about anybody else. I'm not going to tell you about your family. I'm not going to tell you about your friends or anything, because I know what it's like in that moment. And you know what? That guilt, like that doesn't do anything, because at a certain point you just let that go and you're like, I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep going. Like, I wrote that in the note to my sister. I was like, there's nothing you could have done. You've saved me every day since you were born. I can't keep doing this, and I'm sorry. So if I could say anything to anybody that's going through this, I guess it would just be, it's kind of cliche, but it's true. It's like, you're not alone, dude. You're not alone. I'm with you. And we can both go through hell together. You can come over, we can share my food, we can share what's mine is yours. You need anything, you can have anything that I have to give. And it's like, after all this, I don't even want to tell people not to fucking do it. It's like, because I fucking get it. I fucking get it. And at a certain point, it doesn't fucking matter if anyone's telling you not to do it anymore. And it doesn't matter. None of it matters. You just can't keep it. You just can't keep going. It's done. But you feel so alone in that moment. And it's just, I would just want them to know they're not alone. And I know it fucking sucks. And it's hell. But hopefully we can not let it defeat us. Because it would be so much fucking better to not. And just keep going.
And just with that, each and every day that you continue to move forward, that you continue to work through what you're going through, is another day you survived. And that means it's another day you've pushed yourself beyond limits that you thought you didn't have. There's strength in every single day that you are living. And there's strength every single time that you choose to live. There's strength in feeling vulnerable. There's strength in these, like Jesse said, there is no, you shouldn't do this, you can't do that, or it would hurt your friend. Because then, like you said, in that moment, it doesn't matter. But Jesse has your back. I have your back. None of you are alone. And then every single day that you're alive is a day that you can be a blessing to someone else, a blessing to yourself, and another day that you survived. And I want that to be you're choosing every day to give life to yourself. Don't forget that. And
with that, we wrapping it.
Yeah.
Dumbest guys in the room.
Dumbest guys in the room. Till next time. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jesse. Love you, buddy.
And this is Black Randy.
Is he black?
We don't know, actually. He's kind of mixed. We appreciate you letting us stay a little longer. Yeah, no. I'm glad you didn't cut him off during the story. That'd have been rude as hell.
Boop. That would have been. And we're done. All right, guys.